one thing I noticed here is that Shane seems to think that he needs supplements. He seems to think that he won't get results without them, and I see that a lot. And people, most people are kind of brainwashed by, there's so much marketing for supplements. The magazines, every other page has huge advertisements for supplements, and so you get to thinking that you can't get results without supplements. All your body needs is natural foods. I mean, you can get everything you need from food. One of the biggest points I make is that we don't need supplements. I mean, okay, if you've got a lot of extra money and want to buy some supplements, there are a few maybe that are decent, but it's few and far between a lot of times these days. And so do we need them or not? No, we don't need them. You can get great results without any supplements at all. As long as you eat right and you're eating quality foods like we talked about. I mean, you'd be, a lot of people would be so much better off. And we talked about the price of food. Supplements are super expensive. I mean, everybody would be so much better off investing that money in higher quality food that you would have spent on supplements. I mean, if you're spending, and some of these canisters of powders can be $50 each. If you use 2 of them a month, that's $100 a month. Use that $100 to buy better quality food instead. You'd be much better off. And so he mentions here, I don't have money to keep this up. Well, then don't. Just eat healthy, train hard, and to be honest, I used to use a lot of supplements in my late teen years, my early 20s. I thought they were necessary. I thought I wouldn't get results without them. To be honest, I probably threw away thousands of dollars. They never really helped anything. If they help anything, it's the placebo effect. You think you're taking something powerful, so there's everybody knows about the placebo effect. Your mind thinks you're taking in something powerful that's going to help you build muscle or lose fat or something. So it might actually help a little bit, but it's probably more due to the placebo effect than whatever that product actually contains. Training hard, eating right, everything we've talked about in this entire call is a lot more important than taking supplements. People are going to argue with me, but, think about maybe what's behind it. Do they have a financial reason behind it why they're arguing for supplements? If you read the magazines are, most of their revenue comes from advertising for supplements. So, you can figure out why they're recommending them as so important. So just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, great point. I mean, I really like the reinvestment approach that you take to it, and focusing, find out where your priorities are, and again, if you're complaining about the price of organic stuff, the $100 that you spend on, I won't name any brand names, but yeah, I mean, you really can spend that much money on supplements that you were brainwashed into thinking that steroid juice pro in the magazine actually helped them get to that kind of a body. So reinvesting that money in better quality food, great stuff. Mike, I think we've gone way over time here, but I really appreciate you taking the time with us today. Any kind of parting advice? I mean, if you were to tell people, if they said, my goal is to just burn body fat to the point where I get done 6 like that, what would be your number one tip? I think of everything that we've talked about tonight, all the points that we've gone over in the last over an hour now. What would you say is the number one tip, the action item that you would suggest to everybody if their goal is to really make a change and if their goal is to burn body fat?
Sure. Well, one of the biggest things I can suggest is set a specific goal, write it down, and go after achieving that. Make sure it's realistic, and go. Again, we're kind of getting away from all the little details about training and nutrition here, but set a goal. So if you want, and you know what, always strive for, always make new goals as time goes on. And I'm always trying to do, after a while you kind of get to your, maybe you've achieved something, you got to a certain strength level on a certain lift, whatever. Well, now set something new. I'm always doing something new. Like, maybe this month I'll say, all right, I'm going to give myself 5 weeks, and I want to increase this certain exercise by 40 pounds or something like that. Write down something specific. And, when you're training for and you've got your mind into a goal that you set and you wrote down and you have a time deadline to achieve it, you're so much more likely to achieve it. And if you're always kind of going for different things, you're always making progress on something, and it's really big over time, and you can just make so much. And I make it fun, like again, my goals right now, are beyond fat loss because I don't really need to lose body fat at this time. If I did, I would, I'd set a weight, a weight goal that I wanted to get down to or something. But a lot of times I'm just going for something. Like I said, if I'm deadlifting 350 pounds, I'll say, well, on this date, 5 weeks from now, I want to be doing 385, or, I'm doing 13 pull-ups, and this type of pull-up, I want to be able to do 18 after 5 weeks or whatever. Or, one of the ones I did recently was handstand push-ups, and I wanted to be able to do, like 15 handstand push-ups or something. So I set a goal, set a date, and go for it. So same thing goes to fat loss, muscle building, strength in specific lifts, but really important to not just be going at blindly, just randomly doing things, but really, set some specific goals and go for them.